What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the North Shore 9 postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I'm Jim. With me tonight, fresh from Cooperstown, New York. Dougie Fresh in the house. It is after midnight, so it's technically Wednesday, but good evening, Doug. How we doing?
Oh, excellent, Jim. How are you?
You know what? I'm doing great. That was it got boring at times, especially with how late it was. But overall, that ended up being a really nice, fun baseball game. There were some moments that, the Giants ended up having a lot of Pirates-like lapses during this one that made it enjoyable. And Doug, the Pirates have now won, if my math is correct, just off the top of my head, 7 of 8.
I think that's right.
Insane. 3-1 win
Right.
today over
They
San
lost
Francisco.
three to the White Sox and then won 5 of 6 and then 2. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Right after getting swept by the White Sox.
By the White Sox, right? Which
You end up
I
winning
want to
7 of
caution
8.
Pirate fans, stop counting the Colorado series as an easy series. Don't do it. We have done this for the last decade where, guess who's coming to town? The last place team. And we went to Cincinnati when they were like 2-23 and they took 2 out of I don't do it. The Colorado series is going to be difficult. All right. That's all I got on that.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll get into this one. Pirates win 3-1. Get your hashtag Raisits in the comments. That's going to get you into the contest for free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. So while you're doing that, like the video too. I'm going to tell you guys about Bet Online. It is your number one source for all your sports betting action. With baseball in full swing and football around the corner, Bet Online has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting from MLB, UFC to tennis and NFL futures. Bet Online remains your choice for sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the Bet Online Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Head to the website today and take advantage of their industry-leading VIP program with level-up bonuses and weekly cash boosts. Bet Online, the game starts here. All right, Doug. Like I said, not a whole lot of offense in this one overall. I mean, the Pirates did rack up 12 hits, many of them of the single variety. They had 2 extra base hits, but Verlander kind of shut them down. It wasn't really until the Pirates got to the bullpen that they were able to really get some stuff going. But I guess let's start here early on. Like I said, back and forth, Verlander, Falter sort of just putting up zeros. There was an interesting play in the bottom half of the first inning where, the Giants actually got 2 of their first 3 runners on. Matt Chapman pops it up. Brian Hayes, being the fielder that he is, knowing his surroundings, it's an infield fly, and he lets the ball hit the ground. And when he does that, Helio Ramos, for some reason, just wanders off of second base. I'm not sure if he wasn't sure it was an infield fly, Doug, but one of the worst base running mistakes I've ever seen. But Hayes lets the ball drop, throws it to second. Nick Gonzalez tags him out, and that was a fun ending to the bottom of the first.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you think is, how very piratey is that? And, we get frustrated when the Pirates do this kind of thing, and rightfully so. But we see it from all of the other teams. Fundamental baseball is dead. It doesn't seem like anybody at the major league levels knows what they're doing. I loved how Hayes did that. Like, he just sort of looked down. He didn't make some sort of fake. He just kind of like let it go. And why anybody would even be a step off the base on that? I mean, it's the kind of thing you would pull aside your little leaguer and lecture him on that. Like, you know better than that, young man. What are you doing? So it's funny to see. Again, very piratey, but I'm beginning to think maybe not as piratey as I once thought. It seems like it's a baseball problem across, both leagues.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really heads up play by Brian Hayes and a really dumb play by Helio Ramos. If you're familiar with thrown out on the bases like a nincompoop, that's just a prime example right there. Right there in the first inning. So the Pirates escaped some trouble early on thanks to that. Tommy Pham continues to hit. He got the Pirates hitting started in the second inning. Doug, Tommy Pham, like what in the world? Going into if you guys remember, just a dreadful, dreadful first 2.5 months or so. June 22nd, he comes out, he tells reporters, "Hey, yeah, I haven't been able to see all year. I think I finally got my contact prescription dialed in." Doug, ever since then, he's been the best hitter in the National League.
Yeah, it's very odd. I mean, I'm glad that it's happening, but at that level, why did it take until June 22nd to get that straightened out? I mean, I know he has issues and stuff, but it seems like you'd want to have those resolved by spring training. I mean, again, we need offense. I'll take it any day from anywhere. I mean, he's hitting 273, 722 OPS. Only Peguero and O'Neill Cruz are better on this team in that category. So yeah, I mean, it's great and good for him. I don't think it's going to help his trade value all that much. I don't
Here's the
know.
thing, Doug. Like if I'm a team and I'm looking for a rental outfielder, like he's a guy who's been there. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in postseason runs before, and he's on fire.
He
Like
is hot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's one of the better rental options on the market right now as far as like outfielders go. So I think he's going to actually get like a real return. And like I said, kudos to him. We were
Yeah.
on
Good for
him
him.
hard. We were on him hard the first half of the year, but he has turned it on. I said 3-hit performance today, gets a double. He was really the only one hitting Justin Verlander. Also, at one point, Verlander had allowed 3 hits, and 2 of them were to Pham. One was to Kutch. Like no one under the age of 37 had a hit off of Justin Verlander until Liover Peguero got the Pirates on board with a homer in the 5th. But before we get there, Willy Adames starts off the scoring with a home run in the 4th. But that was the only run Bailey Falter gave up today. I thought this was just sort of like your ho-hum Bailey Falter type start where he just went out there. He didn't even throw strikes.
No,
He only
walked
threw
4 guys at one point.
70 pitches today. Was getting runners on, but somehow just he limited hard contact. One wild stat too from today with Falter. He generated 28 swings by the San Francisco Giants today, 14 foul balls, 14 balls in play. They didn't swing and miss a single time against Bailey Falter today, which is incredible. 70 pitches, not one swing and miss. But just a
Swing
bunch
and
of
miss. Whiff. It's overrated.
yeah, just a bunch of weak contact off of Falter when they did hit the ball. And I mean, average exit velocity was 89.3 off of Falter today. So it's like, again, just a bunch of weak contact. He only allowed 2 hits, one of them being that home run. But I mean, at the end of the day, he walked 4 batters, but he gets through 5 innings and gives up just 1 run. Like
You just can't complain, right? I mean, it's 5
no.
innings, 1 run. You'll take that all day long from a guy that's, I don't know, your 4th starter or something. It's so funny to watch him work. Compared to watching Skeens and I mean, everybody else on the team, really, he just looks so depressed and defeated after every pitch. Adames hits that home run, he's immediately with the slumped shoulders, and you're just like, this guy has no belief in himself, but then he just Just keeps getting it done. It's really amazes me. It doesn't make sense when you watch him pitch, and like I said, even as you're seeing the results, um, right? Like nobody, it doesn't seem like he's fooling anybody. But if he doesn't walk you, there's a good chance you're not getting on base.
Yeah, I say he was. It was just he's just been able to put together good starts. Like sometimes he looks really bad, right? But then sometimes he's able to just do this where he gives you 5 innings, gives you a chance to win. Like I said, when he left the game, it was tied 1-1, and he handed it over to the bullpen, they were lights out
Lights
tonight.
out.
We'll get to that. But yeah, just a great start by Falter, keeping them in because Verlander was sharp tonight. If you've seen Verlander pitch at all this year, he was, he's not having the best year, but he was sharp tonight against this lineup. Like I said, mowed the Pirates down until that 5th inning when Liover Peguero just hammered a ball over the left field wall. His first homer of the year. Let's talk about Peguero a little bit. He had a nice game. He had another RBI later on in the game that we'll get to, but Peguero is someone who, I mean, he's been in the system for a while now, right? This was Ben Sherrington's first
First trade.
acquisition, really.
First
He's
trade.
traded
Yeah.
Starling Marte. Liover Peguero was the main guy in return there. He's been in and out of top 100 prospect lists. He's kind of fallen from graces. He hasn't really been able to hit the ball at the upper levels of the minors. He has 244 major league plate appearances. Going into today, had a 74 weighted runs created plus, but 7 homers and 244 plate appearances. So like, I guess if there's one thing I could say about Peguero, comparing him to a lot of the other prospects that have been brought up over Charrington's tenure, is most of the guys who get called up just are awful. Like they contribute in 0 ways whatsoever. With Peguero, he debuted at 21. He had that one game, but like he got most of his playing time at age 22, and he wasn't terrible. Like he wasn't good. Like let's be real here. He wasn't good, but he flashed some power, showed you that he could play a mediocre shortstop. It's anything special, but flashed some power. And then he really hasn't been able to get another chance because of his play in the minors. Again, even this year in his 3rd go of it in AAA, he's hitting 251, 312 on base percentage, 373 slugging percentage, and 81 weighted runs created plus. He's 20% below average in AAA. Sean, shout out to Sean for the super chat there. Appreciate you, Sean. Let's go Bucks. I know Yinzer had another one in here too. Talking about how it's crazy we've got a better record than Atlanta, which I agree. Also crazy.
That is absolutely true. That is crazy.
So,
it doesn't make any sense.
Appreciate that, you guys. But yeah, I mean, Peguero is. I don't think there's anything here just based off of the larger sample sizes in AAA. But like, this is a team that we've been trying to find someone who can play shortstop forever, and he hasn't been totally incompetent at the major league level. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is about to get dealt. I know you just acquired Cam Devaney. Like, I don't know, Doug, do you want to see more of Liover Peguero, or do you want to see more of Cam Devaney? Do you want to maybe give them both a shot? What do you want to do?
The problem is I want to see both of them, and I want to see Nick York. And that's a lot of at bats to kind of find on 3 guys that you're not very confident about or feel very good about. Peguero sort of reminds me of prospects like 20 years ago. Like now the divide between AAA and the majors is so wide. So the gulf is, so deep or whatever. But remember back in the day, like if a guy was average, he'd be an average AAA player and he'd come up to the majors and be just slightly below, he'd almost be the same that he was, and that's kind of what Peguero reminds me of. It's just like, it seems like this is what he is. He can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And so, yeah, I mean, again, we've kept him in the organization so long. It would make sense to give him some extended playing time, especially in a lost season. I mean, we're 16 games under 500. If you're not going to find out about him now, again, you want this team to be making moves at the trade deadline and this coming offseason to make, you want to go all in as far as the Pirates can go all in on when you've got Paul Skeens pitching. But yeah, we're not exactly going out and buying players and acquiring players. Like maybe we have a guy that could be serviceable, right? No, no one thinks that Peguero is an answer, that he's going to be what turns this team around. But if he could play a competent shortstop, have a little pop, he's got some life in his legs. Again, this team doesn't need a whole slew of superstars. It just needs guys that aren't negative value, and that's what most of the prospects that we've brought up have been.
Yeah. So I said there's probably going to be, there's going to be a few moves made. You saw Peguero play first base yesterday as well, so maybe he's your platoon option at first base with Horwitz for a little bit. You let him get a little bit of shortstop time. I said I do want to see Devaney at some point, but I wouldn't mind seeing Peguero a little bit more. He only had 10 major league plate appearances last year. We really haven't seen a whole lot of them since 2023. So yeah, I mean, like, why not? Why not? And he showed today that, I mean, he was a big difference in today's ball game. So he ties the game up there in the fifth. And then the Pirates turn the ball over to Braxton Ashcraft after Falter pitches his 5 strong innings. And I want to take some time here, Doug, to talk about Braxton Ashcraft.
Please do.
God, he looks really, really good. And there's a reason why this guy also, with all the injuries that he's had to deal with throughout his minor league career, he basically has still never pitched like a full season of baseball because of all the injury issues he's had. But the stuff was always so enticing and the command was always so good that, prospect evaluators, they loved him. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's still on top 100 prospect lists because of the command and the stuff. And he gets called up, he's called up to do a specific role, be this reliever. He's been pitching multiple innings out of the bullpen. He goes 3 innings today, faces 9 batters, retires all 9 of them. Only gets 1 strikeout, but like I said, no walks, was all around the strike zone the entire night. He only threw 11 balls in his 3 innings. ERA down to 2.17, Doug. Picks up his 3rd win out of the bullpen. So like he's pitching in close games, like he's pitching high leverage innings, multi innings. He looked good tonight. Like just as good as I've seen him.
Right. You watched the 3 innings that he pitched tonight, 3 perfect innings, and you say, oh, I can see this guy as a starter, right? He pitches equally effectively to lefties and righties. He has excellent control. He's got great stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's easy. You don't have to squint. You can look at him wide open and think, okay, this guy could be a very good starting pitcher on this team. Now, he's been fragile so far, but lots of guys are fragile and they're fragile for a while, and then just one day they're not. It just, they go through their injuries and whatever. Maybe they learn about their body. Maybe they work harder. Whatever. Maybe their bad luck is over. There's no reason to assume that this guy can't pitch, 180 innings a year. And he looks so good. And it looks like he could be very dope, And yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I like what I see. I want to see more. I've kind of been on the record as saying I'd like to see him and Burrows both starting this year. So we can sort of get some answers on those questions, because from what we're seeing from him in the bullpen, and obviously our bullpen could be very shorthanded as of Thursday at 6:00. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'd love to see him, him getting some starts. I'm more curious about Ashcraft than I am about Bubba at this point. So
That's saying
we'll
something.
see. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm very excited to see Bubba and that sort of thing, but
Yeah.
Braxton Ashcraft is doing it at this level. He's doing it now. He's, and
That's a good point.
it's sort of the old fashioned way: prove yourself in the bullpen and then get some starts. But yeah, I want to see more.
Yeah, and you already you skipped way ahead of me. I was going to segue this into, like, come Thursday, this pitching staff as a whole is probably going to look a whole lot different than it does right now. You're probably going to be down at least one starting pitcher with Heaney and potentially two if Keller gets moved. Your bullpen, Ferguson's gone. Probably at least one of Bednar and Santana are also going to be gone. So again, it's going to be a very different looking pitching staff come this Rocky series. So with the success that Ashcraft has had in the bullpen, that was going to be my question to you, was like, do you just kind of let him keep doing this and keep having success at the major league level? And then next year going into spring training, it's like, all right, Ashcraft, you're competing for a starting spot. You can either win it or you can lose it. If you lose it, we know you rock in the bullpen. Or, like I said, there's going to be a spot open this next time through the rotation, probably. Do you give that spot to Braxton Ashcraft, and do you give him 7, 8, 9 starts coming down the stretch here? Or do you leave him kind of in the role that he's in now? Because I'm kind of on the fence. I like what I see from him, and he's
I'm
having
with you.
success. But like at the same time, like I also want to see him start. I want to see him start some games.
It's kind of hard to say right now because we don't know. Do we trade Ferguson, Bednar, Santana, and only Heaney, or do we trade Heaney and Keller and only Bednar? Type things like so. And plus, remember Oviedo. I mean, Oviedo's ready to come back. He pitched 5 good innings at AAA today. He could certainly make a start in 5 or 6 days up here. But again, I do. I kind of want to see Ashcraft start. I mean, if they trade Keller and Heaney, I would very much like to see Ashcraft and Oviedo, but what do you do about Bubba? So it's probably time. I mean, Bubba, he's not been pitching great out there, but I imagine anything. I mean, he needs to start doing it at this level probably and see what his challenges are. But you're right. But if you trade 3 relievers, it's like you almost have to, sort of keep Ashcraft in the bullpen because there's, I'm loving what Isaac Mattson is doing, but I'm not quite ready to see him as closer, and I don't want to see Kyle Nicholas as closer either. So,
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I do want to see Ashcraft start some games this year, though. Like I do want to see that. I don't know if maybe he needs to start 8 or 9, but like I want to see some Braxton Ashcraft starts just to see what that looks like, and give him the feel of just like what it's like to go through the schedule and the routine of being a major league pitcher for a little bit. I want to see that. I want to see that before the end of the year. So
I think it's important that the Pirates see it, right? When they're making their offseason decisions about signing, another veteran back of the rotation guy, maybe they don't have to, right? If you've got Skeens, Oviedo, Burrows, Bubba, Ashcraft, Barco in the wings, still have Falter, right? Like there might, with us, it always comes down to money, and they're only going to spend $1.5 million probably on a pitcher anyway. But I'd rather have that $1.5 million going to acquiring an outfielder. Let's put all that money together and get one good outfielder or something. But yeah, and I think, and we need to see what he can do. I don't want to relegate him to the bullpen this early in his career when he's looking this good, this effective. And in 3 innings, I mean, that was very, very impressive, and he's been doing that since he's been here. He's only had a couple bumps in the road at all. The times he has, he's bounced right back.
Yep. And he ends up getting the win today because the Pirates score some runs against the Giants bullpen and against a really good reliever.
A really good reliever.
Tyler Rogers. So Tyler Rogers comes in, pitches the 8th inning for the Giants. And Nick Gonzalez immediately just loved the approach. You got the submarine pitcher, weird delivery. So what does he do? He just knocks it to right field, leadoff single. Cruz strikes out, but then Tommy Pham infield single. This is where the Pirates just start getting lucky.
This is a Pirate inning right here.
Yeah, Tommy Pham infield single. And then Ke'Bryan Hayes, this is one where if I were a Giants fan, this drives me crazy, but it's also like the one thing Rafael Devers is playing first base, and there was a whole saga about Rafael Devers playing first base in Boston. He refused to do so. He gets traded to San Francisco, and now he's playing first base. Made a couple good plays over there too this series. This one was not one. Ke'Bryan Hayes with what seemed like a routine ground ball directly to the second baseman. Rafael Devers is like sprinting towards this baseball from the first base position. And it's like, no, you can't do that when you play first base. You've got to run the other way. You got to run away from the baseball. So the Pirates get lucky because Devers is nowhere near first base. Rogers is covering the bag, but he's confused on who has the ball because, he's just running with his head down. So he's looking at second base thinking the ball's coming from there. Instead, it's coming from second baseman. And the ball hits Ke'Bryan Hayes. Next thing you know, on what could have been a double play, Doug, it's now bases loaded, 1 out. And then this one had to feel pretty good. Joey Bart was DFA'd by the Giants last year. They said, hey, we don't want you. We don't have any room for you anymore. He delivers the knockout blow, the game-winning RBI today, puts the Pirates up 2-1 with an RBI single to left. Peguero adds on by just putting the ball in play, like just good like he was behind in the count. I think he was down. No, he was up 2-1, but again, tough pitcher, and he puts the ball in play, gets a ground out, scores the run, a big insurance run there. Pirates go up 3-1, but it was a good inning because you saw the Pirates take advantage of the Giants' mistakes, and we've seen other teams do this to us so many times. It's just often, refreshing to be on the other end every once in a while.
Yeah, again, it was a very piratey inning on both sides of it, right? That was a piratey defensive play. However, the Pirate playing station to station baseball and not in the old fashioned sense, right? You get a guy on first and then another guy hits a single and it moves him to second. And we're not flying around the base paths. We're just, getting to the next base. And, then we get the weird play where, Rogers runs over, makes sure he gets his foot on, turns around, and the ball's just not, it just makes no sense how that play worked. But, Joey Bart comes through and he's probably been the second most disappointing guy on the team this year, right? Reynolds being number one, and then Joey Bart, but whatever. He got it done today, got it done against his old team. That had to feel good for him. And the Pirates get another win. They added on, but it was, and I guess it just goes to show you, don't strike out, make contact. Hit the ball and good things can happen.
Yeah, Cruz struck out that inning. He was the only one who really didn't do any sort of contribution. So, that's a good point. Put the ball in play.
Put the ball in play.
Good things happen. Yep. And so that's what happened there. Like I said, they put the pressure on the Giants, and they just weren't able to make plays that inning. Ashcraft finished it off there in the 8th. In between all that, Brian Reynolds made a really, really nice catch. I just want to acknowledge that. I think that was in the bottom of the 5th inning to end the 5th. Reynolds with a diving catch. So that was refreshing. He's obviously not that great of a fielder. Metrics hate him, but after yesterday, seeing Canario run aroround right field like he was Magellan, it was nice to see Reynolds out there. At least
Magellan knew where he was going,
Right? Yeah, that's true. At least Reynolds knew where he was going, and he looked like a competent outfielder today. So really nice play there by Reynolds. But heading into the 9th, Bednar clearly not available after throwing so many pitches yesterday, but Santana comes in and just shuts the door as is tradition.
Yeah. But it's the funny thing about Reynolds. When you watch him play, he's, he catches sort of everything that he gets to, you know what I'm saying? He does not look like an obvious bad outfielder. The metrics, you're right. He just can't cover any ground, but that was a nice play. And he does that. He makes a decent amount of again, on the ones he can get to. It's kind of funny. He's, in the 1970s, no one would have thought he was a bad outfielder. He throws guys out, but it's
a good point.
And we've just figured out that, he can't cover any ground now.
Getting crushed by the metrics.
Yeah, exactly. The advanced analytics have not been good to Brian Reynolds. And then my guy Santana, 6th save of the year, just making it look easy. Yeah.
12. It's like every single time. It's just like 10 pitches, 11 pitches, 12 pitches.
He's a dream as a reliever, because it's like you're like, yeah, I know we've used him 2 days in a row, but he's only thrown 17 pitches in those 2 outings. We
Exactly.
can run him out there again. I really do hope they keep him. Yeah, it's. I mean, it was a good win, Jim. It was a good
It
win.
was. It was a good win.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah.
playing
I
some
mean,
good like, I mean, you
uh,
gotta they're playing a really good stretch of baseball right now.
yeah,
Especially, like, their pitching has been just great.
it's been
Right?
fantastic, right?
It's like that stretch they had in May when Kelly kind of first took over, when the pitching
Right.
just sort of, like, took a whole other step. The pitching, again, is just like they're pitching really well right now. Like I said, that series, that last series that they played against I already forget who they played. Who'd they play over the weekend, Doug? Escapes my
Wow.
mind.
I
The
don't know.
Diamondbacks.
I
They
was
played the
celebrating
Diamondbacks over
Dave
the
Parker.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played the Diamondbacks over the weekend. Didn't give up an earned run, and then again today they win with 3-1. Just give up the one run. Only 2 hits given up by this entire staff today. Just really really good pitching overall. So great stuff.
And
They
this
go
is the
to
third show in a row that I've been able to give out sandwiches.
there you
I
go.
know that I've had no streaks of 3 games in a row doing it, as most of us haven't. So,
Yeah,
this is right. It's hard to wrap my head around.
yeah, they're playing good ball. They're playing good
Led
ball.
by led by Tommy Pham, right? So you know,
Led by Tommy Pham, led by Don Kelly's now back to like respectable record, 34 and 36. Don Kelly, so like he hasn't been too bad. Like I said they're on a really good stretch here, and I know you said don't look ahead, but like you go for the sweep tomorrow, and then you got the Rockies coming up. Like you can put some wins together here if you keep
yeah.
playing well.
Who pitches tomorrow? Is it Burrows tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Burrows, but they are facing Logan Webb. Logan
Ooh,
Webb's very good. So all
yeah.
right,
I hope we let Henry Davis catch. Burrows
yeah.
always seems to do pretty well with him.
I'd say day game after night game, probably see Davis tomorrow. So, all right, we ready to give away sandwiches, Doug?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do that. We've got 93 entries. So again, push your hashtag Raisits into the comments. That's going to get you into the drawing for a free Primanti Brothers sandwich. Like the video too. If you're watching, like the video, subscribe to the page if you haven't yet. This week is going to be insane. We're going to have a ton of coverage for you as far as the trade deadline goes. I know somebody was asking some trade deadline questions. If you haven't, check out our NS9 Live from last week. We really dive into all the available players. We're going to have NS9 Live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So we'll be live tomorrow night. We'll be talking about everything that we're hearing. We're going to have a guest on that show as well. So we'll be live tomorrow night. And then also, if there's any sort of any sort of big trades that happen between now and then or later, we're going to we'll have emergency podcasts too, kind of depending on what's going on. So also, Doug and Ryan went to Cooperstown last weekend. Cody is putting the finishing touches on their vlog. So if you want to see Doug and Ryan just wander around the Hall of Fame and the town of Cooperstown, make sure you check that out.
Just buying stuff.
I've heard it's awesome. I haven't watched any of the raw footage yet, but I hear it's awesome. It's going to be out tomorrow, so make sure you check that out as well. But all right, let's go ahead and give away sandwiches. We're going to pick 2 winners. Each of you are going to win 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches. Get your hashtag Raise It in if you haven't already. I'm going to give you 2 seconds, but make sure you have the Primanti's app downloaded on your phone. If you win, just send us your email address associated with your account, and we'll get those free sandwiches deposited in there for you. So, first winner, Molly Steele.
Molly Steele. Congratulations, Molly.
Congratulations, Molly. Again, DM us, email us, northshore9@gmail.com. Whatever your preferred method is, go ahead and get that out to us. Get us your email, and we'll get those sandwiches loaded into your account. All right, winner number 2. Again, like the video if you haven't yet. If you're listening on the podcast or watching after the fact, High Ties Dad. This is
The fix is in.
The fix is in. Ty's dad with the win. The fact that Ty's dad won before Bucko Mike, just insane.
Didn't Ty's mom just win too? Is there?
You know what? I think Ty's mom won earlier, this year too. So like the whole Ty's family is eating good right now. So, yeah, good stuff. So Ty's dad, congratulations. 2 free Primanti Brothers sandwiches for you.
We know Ty's not watching us, but his dad is at least. Right? Ty's in bed, right?
Definitely asleep right now. There's no way he's awake. All right. Well, like I said, we've got a lot of stuff coming for you this week. We'll have another post-game show tomorrow. I believe it's you and Neil tomorrow. So
yes, sir. The B team.
Yeah, we'll be going for the sweep. Sean, he's going to be sitting behind home plate. He's going to bring his broom with him. So keep an eye out for that. He is in San Francisco this weekend. But yeah, that's all we got here for you. Appreciate all of you. The chat was crazy for 12:45 at night and in the morning, whatever. You guys are nuts.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Love you guys. All right. Well, that's all we got. We'll catch you later. Peace out.
Let's go Bucks.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.